Narek Makarchian, ambassador to the Republic of Armenia, joins me now in studio. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Now, Armenia is a landlocked country and it borders Iran. How is the conflict in the Middle East impacting the country?
So I would say that right now we are building peace in the region. You know that after many years being in a conflictual situation with Azerbaijan, with the support of President Trump last year in August, at the White House, President brokered peace between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and we are committed to the peace. So our main goal is to support peace in the region and to build peace. And now we have quite big agenda with the United States of America to create a platform for the peaceful development of the region. And we have a project, vision, and that project entitled as Crossroads of Peace. So we presented this idea, this project, several years ago, that Armenia after war is committed politically to create a new environment in Armenia, in region, and based on three principles: respecting the principle of territorial integrity, sovereignty, and the jurisdiction. And we say that we are open for the dialogue, we are open to establish diplomatic relationships with Turkey, with Azerbaijan, and to provide a platform of peaceful cooperation and prosperity for all regional actors. And so we are very hopeful that very soon there will be peace in the region and all the actors can be some way participate in the peace building process that initiated by the government of Armenia and supported by many governments. And now we have one of the key supporter, which is United States of America, and we have nice projects behind all of these agreements of building peace in our region.
As you mentioned, President Donald Trump had a hand in the peace agreement between Azerbaijan and, of course, Armenia. As a citizen and also a diplomat, what is it like to be at peace with your neighbors?
You know, it's first of all, it's a historical phenomenon. So for us to be in a conflictual situation for more than 30 years, it's very unusual to live in a peace. Sometimes now we are learning how to live in a peace because now it's totally a new reality, and sometimes people, they are trying to understand what is peace, to value the peace, because it's really a new sense, like when you have psychologically, let's say, calm environment, and you can now think about the development, about prosperity. And I can say that President Trump did historical thing for Armenia, for Azerbaijan, and for the region. And the good news is that we have a lot of supporters, and we have active dialogue with Azerbaijan as well. There are a lot of positive developments on the ground. Like there's a dialogue between civil society of Armenia and Azerbaijan. There is a trade between Armenia and Azerbaijan. So after 3 decades, Armenia started to buy different kind of stuff, mainly oil, for example, from Azerbaijan. And Azerbaijan also trading with Armenia, like buying some products from Armenia. And after 30 years, first time, so Armenia used the territory of Azerbaijan to bring, for example, wheat and different kind of stuff from Russia, from Kazakhstan, crossing like the territory of Azerbaijan. So, and entering to Armenian territory. So this is very important development, and our public, our citizens, they are appreciating this opportunity and very looking forward to build peace in Armenia, in the region, and to have a new kind of coexistence.
In 1991, Armenia broke away from Soviet control to be independent. And of course, that brought many challenges in the modern world for a legitimate government and industries. Of course, it's been 35 years. It's still considered a developing nation. Can you talk a little bit about the U.S. and Armenian bilateral agenda and how that can bring some industries to Armenia?
Thank you for the question. Actually, we have now quite big agenda with the United States of America. But historically, since the independence, U.S. always been very supportive to the Armenian government to support to develop the democratic institutions and to establish democracy in Armenia. Now we can proudly say that we are really we have a tough neighborhood, and in our neighborhood, so we are proud that we are really building and strengthening democracy, and we have a lot of supporters, mainly US, European Union. They are with us to support us to develop the democratic institutions. And one of important institutions that important for democracy in our region is like to provide platforms for like transparent dialogue, political dialogue, to have transparent and democratic elections. Because when we look back to some 2 decades back, so we can see a lot of problematic developments that we had regarding like democracy, democratic elections. After 2018, when our current Prime Minister like headed the revolution in Armenia, non-violent, democratic, velvet revolution. So this became a new turning point for Armenia, a new chapter for the development of democracy. And I can say that after 2018, so we created new quality relations with the United States of America. But sometimes now the experts split the relations between US and Armenia before and after 8th of August, because the establishment of peace or the absence of war is only about the presence of opportunity for prosperity, for the development. Because during the Washington Declaration, so we also signed several other documents for the partnership for like energy security partnership. So we signed MOU on AI and innovation, semiconductor innovation partnership, and we signed MOU on a capacity building of Crossroads of Peace project that I just mentioned. So now we have a quite big agenda, which is very important for the scaling up the relationships with the US, especially the strategic partnership charter that we signed in 2025. So now these MOUs are very important precondition for the development of new kind of relations with US and to bringing new kind of interest and to have win-win situation. Like right now, there are a lot of American companies interested in Armenian economy, interested in investing in Armenia. Recently, we got approval for export control licenses for NVIDIA Blackwell GPUs for 50,000 chips to deliver to Armenia and to start AI factory. So Armenia will be computing intelligence, like data, and all the beneficiaries will be American companies. This is a strong signal to US private sector that the US is considering Armenia as a trusted partner, because these technologies are very important component of current developments of AI. And now by this partnership, Armenia is becoming a regional AI and technology hub. And we are very proud of having enough talents and enough like ICT ecosystem to support and to engage more such kind of initiatives. So now the current agenda of between Armenia and US is not limited only like with technology partnership. We recently last year signed also MOU on energy security partnership. Like we will be partnering with US to modernize our energy infrastructures. We recently concluded 123 agreement on energy partnership when Vice President JD once visited Armenia. So he like unveiled and signed the declaration on 123 agreement, and very soon we will be having like bilateral intergovernmental agreement, which will provide another platform to engage more energy companies to Armenian economy. And indeed, the third important like MOU that we signed is on capacity building of Crossroads of Peace. And behind this, we have a huge project which we call TRIP, Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity. This is very important project, infrastructure multinodal project, which is about any kind of interconnectivity. So this is a bilateral project between Armenia and the US. So we created Trip Development Company, and 74% of the shares belongs to US government, 6% shares belongs to the Armenian government, and so this will be turning into a new kind of regional, like global supply chain, bringing Central Asia closer to South Caucasus and Europe. And United States of America and Armenia, they will co-manage this platform. So right now, the Armenian government and the US government working on the implementation of TRIP. The State Department already announced about $145 million like financial support for the implementation of this project. But I think there will be a lot of opportunities and investments for the implementation of TRIP. And when Vice President visited Armenia, he also unveiled about the TRIP Enterprise Fund, so which will be also providing funds for the development of different kind of projects, which is projects which are related to TRIP. So TRIP now is becoming a new global supply chain, which will bring again Central Asian platforms, for example, C5+1 platform, to partner with TRIP and also to have access to the collective West.
Now, TRIP, this is something potentially new for a lot of American viewers, the Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity. So it's the 27-mile-long rail and road corridor. It's to rival China's Belt and Road Initiative. Is there a timeline for potentially when that could be completed or when work is even beginning?
I want to say that this is not against third countries. This is not against China, this is not against Russia, this is not against Iran, this is not against any kind of country. This is for peace, first of all. This is for cooperation, and so Crossroads of Peace project is about this vision. So, and the TRIP is a part of the Crossroads of Peace project. And we say that we are inviting our neighbors to cooperate with Armenia, respecting three important principles of territorial integrity, sovereignty, and the jurisdiction of Republic of Armenia. So, and we say that we are ready to open borders with Turkey, to establish diplomatic relations with Azerbaijan and with Turkey. So this is the vision of the Crossroads of Peace project. And we are very grateful that now we have understanding from most of players, and we are working on the implementation of TRIP. So we have a roadmap, we have action plan, and we are working on this action plan despite the current developments in the region. So TRIP is still a key priority for the US government, and recently the State Department announced that the Trump Road for International Peace and Prosperity still continue to be priority for the government of United States of America. So we have created working groups in our government, agency, let's say, working groups, both from Armenian side and American side, and we are working very closely, very actively for the implementation of TRIP. So it's not only about roads, railroads, this is about fiber optics, this is about transmission lines, this is about new possible pipelines that can come from Central Asia and go to Europe. So this is really a new kind of interconnectivity project which can turn Armenia into hub, and we are very looking forward to work with the US government to implement this important project, which is again good not only for Armenia and Azerbaijan, this is also good for Central Asian states, for South Caucasus states, for Turkey, and for Europe.
Because of Armenia's geographical location, as you mentioned, you need to maintain relationships with so many different countries, of course, Iran and also Russia, but you have a lot of interest. The EU is going to be having a summit with Armenia, of course, the bilateral relations with the United States. How are you able to balance all of these relationships with these very different countries?
First of all, we announced about our doctrine of foreign policy. Our doctrine of foreign policy is the following. we announced that we are going to have balanced and balancing like foreign policy. So we are trying to, first of all, to concentrate on our national interests, and to first of all to put forward our national interests. And you are right, we have also very strong communication and cooperation with the European Union. And the European Union is a strong ally of Armenia and very strong supporter of the Crossroads of Peace project and the current peace developments in Armenia. And in May, we will be hosting European Political Community Summit, and we'll be having also EU-Armenia summit within that context. And we have a lot of ongoing processes and the reforms which will make Armenia more closer to the European Union, and which will also satisfy the aspiration of the Armenian nation to be a part of the European Union. So yes, this is because of our balanced and balancing foreign policy that we declared several years ago, and we are happy that now there are like practical projects which are speaking about this doctrine.
Now, Armenia is the oldest nation to identify as Christian. What role does the Christian faith play in the fabric of Armenian culture and even diplomacy?
So Christianity is an inseparable part of our national narrative. Armenia is considered as a cradle of civilization, being the first nation to accept Christianity in 301 AD as a religion. So, and we are very proud of it. So, as a Christian nation, so we are very interested in value-based partnership with the countries which also value the Christianity. And if starting from the 5th century, Christianity also supported for the development of Armenian national culture and for the preservation of the national identity during the period of history, different periods of history where we didn't have statehood. So the Christianity played a kind of role, protector of identity, protector of the culture, because all the writing culture of Armenia, so it came to Armenia thanks to Christianity, because the Christian fathers started to translate the knowledge, the world knowledge, international knowledge into Armenian, and this has become like inseparable part of the Armenian intellectual activity. So still now, Christianity and Armenian Apostolic Church is considered one of important national institutions, and we are very proud of it. We are very proud to have one of like ancient institutions still active, the Armenian Apostolic Church, and the government of the Republic of Armenia is very supportive to the Armenian Apostolic Church, but also respecting the principle of separation of church and the state. So the Christianity, again, I would say that is an integral part of our national narrative.
Now, this year, Armenia marks 111 years since the Armenian genocide. What message does Armenia want the international community to take from this moment?
We are one of ancient nations, and we, in our history, we have a lot of chapters that we are very proud of it. But the chapter and the history of genocide is one of tragic chapters. And this year we mark 111th anniversary. And so what we need to do, first of all, we need to remember, we need to respect the memory of the victims and to learn lessons. But first of all, we need this is to prevent any kind of future crimes and the genocides against humanity. So our mission as humans, as politicians, as diplomats, we have to work to remember, to raise awareness about such kind of historical cases in order to prevent future atrocities, future crimes against humanity, and future genocides. So this is the number one message that we want to send to the world, that we are respecting the victims' memory, we are remembering them, we are learning lessons, and we are trying to raise awareness to prevent the such kind of genocides in future. But during at the same time. So I want to say that now we trying to build a peace and to find a common language and to look forward. That's why we started like a dialogue with Turkey to establish diplomatic relationships, to have a new kind of like conversation, to start doing trade, establish, open the borders, etc. So, and it doesn't mean that we are like forgetting the memory of the victims.
Ambassador Narek Makarchian, thank you so much. Great to have you here in the studio.
Thank you so much.